You just fucking mock people.
What's going on? How are you?
I'm confused.
You're confused?
I sure am.
Why are you confused?
I had a 14-year-old kind of girl tell me that they were a he, they.
Okay, what about that?
Demi boy.
Okay.
Partial non-binary.
Okay.
The fuck does that mean?
I don't know. Why? What?
You're confused too.
Wait. I don't fully understand what that is, but what does it matter? I mean, there are people who have very odd names too. That doesn't mean that their name is invalid.
But their name is what they were given from birth, not
really.
A chromosome that's inside their body
so
that determines what they are.
There's a couple issues to this. One, people can change their name. I mean, many women, it is societally expected that they change their last name, and many people do. Some person might be born Jacqueline, but they prefer to be called Jackie. So we accommodate people's names all the time. So this idea that we can't accommodate something like, pronouns very simply is, I think, ridiculous. Also, you made a connection to genetics. This has nothing to do with genetics whatsoever at all. It's the genetics and societal expectations really don't, or societal norms don't really have anything to do with each other. There's nothing about your genetics that define all it defines is usually what reproductive organs you have and what hormones you have.
Would you consider society, high school kids competing for some form of a scholarship in high school?
I mean, sure. I mean, are you talking about like transgender women being in women's sports?
I'm talking about men beating the shit out of women.
Okay, all right.
Sports,
Well,
yes.
so I hope you realize that doesn't actually happen. Like
it does.
No, it became.
I watched a video today of a girl
watched a
in
video?
Utah
I would really
who got the shit kicked out of her in track.
Okay.
She was the fastest girl in the state. And then all the boys started coming into her sport, and now she's not the fastest girl in the state. All right.
Because
fucking TJ's faster.
Dude, okay. There are multiple issues with this. One of them, there are
an issue.
Okay, no, there are multiple. Just because someone has a different advantage due to their body build does not mean they should be excluded from participating in sports. A really good example is on my swim team, or not my swim team. I'm not on swim team, but on our school swim team, we have a kid who's 6'7" and a kid who's 5'4". If you're not going to tell me that there's not a serious difference in their abilities based on how their bodies are built, then obviously you're wrong. But would you say that that it's unfair that the 6'7" kid is competing?
How much does the 6'7" kid weigh?
You do realize that swimming is not based on weight. I imagine much more.
So the 6'7" kid who's 600 pounds would definitely be able to outswim the kid who's 5'7", 125, right?
And should we not allow the 6'7" kid to compete in high school athletics?
By no means should we not.
Well, why? But he has an unfair advantage, right? Because you're saying we shouldn't allow...
There's going to be some unfair advantage between the same gender, correct?
There's going to be... Yeah, so why can't we do it directly within biological sex?
So the norm for men, we go off of the average height, weight, muscle mass, right?
Yeah.
The average height, weight, muscle mass for a man is 40% higher than the average for a woman.
Have you heard of what hormone replacement?
By default, hormone replacement.
Do you know what it does? Especially when you take estrogen as a man, it drastically decreases your muscle mass. Actually, usually for cis.
Let's go ahead and take a look at Cece. Cece, the track racer. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I'd love to see this.
I'll look this up for you.
I'd love to see this. I love how you're...
Cece doesn't take any type of track fucking...
Wait a second.
Cece Telfer.
Wait, I can disagree with you, dude. I mean, I can disagree with what they're doing. I think that if you're going to participate in sports, you should be required to take, the hormone therapy that identifies with the gender that you identify
I started
with.
taking it last week.
No, that's not how literally the rules are. You literally have to take it for a period of... No, yeah, it's 18 months. It's science.
18 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
And is it based on which doctor prescribes how much?
It's kind of just how the trials have been done to show what muscle mass you have to take what percentage you have to take in order for your muscle mass to be at a certain level. I don't really get the point.
So if you don't get the point, how am I supposed to get the point?
I'm not understanding your contentions. I agree that if someone wants to participate, if a transgender, if a transgender woman wants to participate in women's sports, I believe that they should be transitioned to their fullest ability. I believe that they should be able to
Their fullest ability is not.
Yes, it is.
Getting a bunch of hormone blockers.
One, hormone blockers and hormone replacement therapy are two different things. Hormone blockers.
I'm not well versed in hormone replacement and hormone blockers. I think it's a bunch of bullshit.
Okay, well, if you're going to have a strong opinion on it, I would only ask that you become educated on the issue and do a little bit of research. Hormone blockers, the point of them is to block someone from going through puberty, so that if someone doesn't go through a male puberty, they can identify as a woman much easier because they never went through a male puberty. People who actually, who go on hormone blockers and then identify with the gender that they start taking, let's say they were assigned male at birth, and then they took hormones.
Still have male chromosomes.
No, sure, fine. Who cares? It's XY. Why do we care about
Science
chromosomes?
cares.
Wait, fine, and I'm not contending with you. Why does that matter?
It's a fucking boy.
Wait, okay, time out. Boy and male are two different things. Male is the gender that is constructed by society.
I'm saying.
No, okay, fine.
Layman's terms. I'm using layman's terms.
Okay, well, layman's terms aren't scientific terms, and we should be specific with what we're talking about. He's assigned male
Do you
at birth.
assume I mean female when I say boy?
No, I don't. I'm just telling you.
You assume I mean male when I say boy.
Okay, fine. Someone who's assigned male at birth and has XY chromosomes. Sure. What I'm talking about
You're not assigned male at birth. You're a boy.
Well, you could have XY. Well, technically, they don't do a chromosomal check at birth. You know that, right?
They don't need to. If you have a penis,
you do.
Unless you have Klinefelter syndrome.
Yeah.
The one fucking little tiny.
No. Have you heard of intersex people? Sometimes someone doesn't have a clear, genitalia at birth, and also that doesn't really define a person. Some people can have the outer exterior genitalia that present as female, but they literally don't even have a reproductive system. Some people can have both a clitoris and a penis at birth if they're born that way. So how would you define their sex?
Birth defect.
Well, sure. So these people exist. I mean, what is it about?
You don't make rules based on the exception.
I'm not saying make rules. I'm a little confused where we're getting at.
Where I'm getting at, my main point is we've got a bunch of men who are competing in women's sports.
We really don't.
And yes, we do.
This is not a serious. Okay, fine. We can agree that you should have to take hormone replacement therapy to the point at which science says.
Who decides how long?
Doctors.
And at what point you're
doctors. Science. The people who have expertise in this field. Not me and not you.
So I could just go get whatever doctor I want and say, hey, doctor, I would like you to give me the small... No.
Dude, do you understand how medicine works? You can't just decide what you're going to do that way. Doctors have to adhere to specific sets of standards, otherwise they lose their medical license. Doctors aren't your, financial consultant who can, suggest or tell you whatever you want to hear.
Understood, but if I say I want a lesser dose...
Yeah, then you won't meet the eligibility requirements to participate in that sport.
Okay, well then that's taking away from women's rights then. Because
how is it taking away from women's rights?
Yeah, exactly.
How? How is it taking away?
Sarcasm.
Wait. How would you?
That was sarcasm.
So how would you present it?
They've been taking estrogen for fucking 18 months.
Indeed, but we also have specific standards at which we set so that there is not an unfair advantage based on muscle mass. The largest difference between people who have XY chromosomes and are biologically male and female is muscle mass. Estrogen, the hormone, is designed to combat that.
Is bone density not a part of this?
Not as large.
Can you change the size of bones?
Not.
No, you can't.
Wait, fine. But
it goes back to the 6'7".
No, it goes back to the 6'7". Exactly.
Males are taller than women.
Not
by
always.
definition.
Sure.
On average, males are taller than women.
Fine. So
should the 6'7" male, who's a little bit taller than average, get to compete against the 5'7" women?
No, 5'7" male.
A little bit under average.
5'7" male. No, for 5'4" male. There is an unfair advantage there between a kid.
I'm not talking about men.
I'm asking you why. Wait, but you said that bone density and size is different. Let's look at the same. Fine. Then the kid who's 6'7", the kid who's 6'7" and a male has longer bones than the kid who's the male who's 5'4".
I'm differentiating between bone density and bone length.
I'm aware.
Height versus muscle mass.
Okay.
There's two different criteria that we have to fix.
I'm not from men to women. I'm not denying any of that. What I'm telling you.
So how do we cut the advantage from transgender women on muscle mass and on height? If height and on
I never said anything about height. There are people who have different heights.
I'm making the argument that we should have.
Fine, then we should make it rules that apply that if you're 6'7" and a biological male, you shouldn't be able to participate in male sports because it's unfair to the guys who are 5'4".
No, you're still a man.
No,
there's going to be guys that are faster than you.
But there's going to be people who are faster. This is my whole argument. You are saying
why do we have men's and women's sports?
Because on average, the people who do not take these types of hormones.
Now we're going back to average.
Wait a second. I literally just said that if a transgender woman wants to participate in traditionally women's sports, she should have to go on hormone replacement therapy. We agree.
Then she should have to go on height replacement.
That's not how this fucking works.
She should have to have her bones cut out.
Fine. Then the kid
of each bone cut out.
Then the kid who's 6'7" and a male, and the kid who's 5'4" and a male, the kid who's taller should also have to do that. Just because there's a discrepancy.
No.
Why?
What do you mean why?
Because
men's sports and women's sports. Why should Shaquille O'Neal have to play against Muggsy Bogues?
Wait. So do you think it's unfair that Isaiah Thomas, who's 5'9", is in the NBA, and then someone else like Giannis is like 6'11"? They're different heights. How is that not unfair?
Completely fair.
But under your criterion of someone who is taller, he would have an unfair advantage.
Is men and women.
But I literally just said this. The reason you're saying that it's unfair for men or for transgender women to participate in male sports is because on average they're taller. So if a biological
muscle mass,
I already addressed muscle mass, and that would be the hormone. I do not know what estrogen does. Estrogen literally targets and breaks down muscles. Taking estrogen actually weakens your muscles. If a biological male who is transitioning to become a female takes estrogen, it will lessen the amount of muscle mass that she has.
Okay. I still failed to see how that is now a woman. Should compete.
Because there is no such thing as a fucking woman. If you identify as a woman, you're a woman.
You're an idiot.
No, you just don't understand social constructs.
You just said there's no such thing as a woman.
Correct, objectively.
You guys just made up some shit in the past 10 years.
No, we didn't. No, there have always been people who have identified differently than the sex that they were assigned at birth. There's male and there's female. There's XX and there's XY. To say that automatically correlates with gender is absurd. There is no, because gender is what you identify as. I have one question. Fine. The karyotype for genetics was discovered in, I believe, 1813. So if gender and sex.
Nobody else knows that. You're arguing against people that don't know what the fuck you're saying. Yes! You're talking about a karyotype from 1813.
Let me get to the point. The point is that in order for sex and gender to actually correlate with each other and for gender to be dependent on sex, if we did not know what someone's chromosomes were, they would not have a gender. Did gender roles exist before we discovered the karyotype in 1813? Yes or no?
Did gender roles?
Yeah, did gender exist before we knew about chromosomes which define biological sex?
Did gender need to exist? Did we have a bunch of crazy libtards running around going,
gender has always... Wait, gender has always existed.
Okay.
That's my question. So you're saying that gender is dependent on biological sex?
So in 1813...
Yes.
Right? Is this your date?
Sure. I'm pretty sure that's the date. I'm not 100% confident on that exact date. But when the karyotype was discovered, which was back in, I think, the 18 or 1700s, but don't quote me exactly on the date.
Were there women's sports in college back in the day?
No, because women
were receiving scholarships.
Women didn't have fucking rights, dude.
Okay. So now that they do, now that we've fixed that, we've gone past that.
I want to get back to my point.
They do have women's rights,
I don't think you understand my point that I was making before.
I'm trying to make a point. You keep going, wait. Let me keep talking.
Because you didn't ever answer my question. Did gender exist?
I'm working on that.
Okay, well, it's a yes or no question. I mean, it's not that hard. Did gender exist before the discoverance of the karyotype? Yes or no?
Yes.
So then gender is not dependent on biological sex because we didn't have a knowledge of what people's official biological sex is.
It doesn't matter if we have a knowledge or not. There was no use for having a knowledge. There were no women's scholarships that men are now stealing from women.
Because women didn't have rights. What?
And now that they do, you've got a bunch of men going into women's sports and saying, I'm faster than you, bitch. Give me that scholarship.
Okay, it's not. I'm sorry that you're watching right-wing propaganda.
Look up a news article.
Dude,
one news article.
Yes, dude.
I will literally show you the video today.
Dude, okay. I've literally already talked with you that there should be criterion when it comes to hormone replacement therapy that one should have to suffice in order to be in that sport.
That there are?
There should be. I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing right now that the system that's in place is 100% correct. But is it also the case that people on the right like to fabricate these situations to be the downfall of America just because one person in there? Fine. I have one question. There are people, and I've talked about this before, a 6'7" guy who absolutely obliterates all the other guys in swimming. How is that not an unfair advantage? How is it not unfair? It is unfair.
How is it?
You're saying that if a transgender woman beats other women in sports, it's unfair. But if a man who identifies, or a biological male who identifies as a male, obliterates all the other men, then that's fair. Explain to me that. How is that consistent?
He's assigned male, right?
Well, why does that matter? Why does it matter? Your argument as to why
he's in men's sports.
Wait, but your argument as to why transgender women should not be able to participate in women's sports is because it's unfair to cisgender women.
Are you a swimmer?
No, I'm not a swimmer. Are
there weight classes and height classes in swimming?
No.
Not as far as you know, or definitively no?
In high school athletics, I don't believe so. Do you want to talk about
high school athletics? There's a height and weight class in wrestling.
Sure, I'm not talking about wrestling.
Every other individual sport.
I'm not talking about wrestling.
There's a weight class.
Fine. I'm not talking about wrestling.
There's a weight and a height class.
I'm talking about swimming. Why are you bringing up wrestling?
Make it fair. Then, if you don't like that, don't go swimming. Don't try out for the swim team.
So then, if you don't like the fact that some people will be better at you in a sport, then don't try out for it. I guess.
How tall is Michael Phelps?
I don't fucking know. How tall is he? Do you know?
Alexa, how tall is Michael Phelps? Okay, so he's 6'3", 194.
Yeah, 6'3", pretty fucking tall. Taller than the average man.
Just above average.
Above average.
Just above average.
Bro, you're bringing up one example.
Anybody that's 6'7" should be able to outswim Michael Phelps.
I never said that for certain. Fine, do you want to go to basketball instead? Because that's an easier differentiation when it comes to height.
Basketball's a team sport.
Any
physical advantage has nothing to do with the team sport.
What?
A physical advantage has nothing to do with a team sport.
It makes the individual player better, which improves the team.
Oh, okay. So why didn't Kobe win every single
I never said that just because you're tall, you're automatically good. You're completely strawmanning my argument. I said it gives you...
I'm not strawmanning. You made the argument that somebody who's tall automatically has an advantage over someone who's short.
In that category, yes.
There's less body mass for a 5'7" person. There's less drag on their body across the wall.
So my question is, why were you making the argument before that height is an unfair advantage when it comes to transgender women participating in men's sports, if right now you're acknowledging that height does not equal an unfair advantage?
Well, you're saying specifically swimming.
Fine, but what sport then? Why? Explain to me right now why it's unfair for transgender women to participate in women's sports, and then I will literally tell you an example of a man who has that exact same criterion to which you would say it doesn't matter. So this is not your criterion. What?
Muscle mass and bone density.
Bro, I literally just talked about muscle mass. That's the point of estrogen therapy.
But you said they should. And right now they don't.
Fine, then we agree that the system is that the system is not working properly. I have a question.
You just made my point for me.
No, I didn't. Fine. I have a question for you. By the way, I have not done direct...
You just made my point.
No, I have not. I have a question.
The system is fucked. There's men taking women's scholarships.
Dude, this is not a prevalent issue that's happening like across the country. Are there isolated incidents of it? Sure. Send me fucking 3 news articles. Okay, and because you're not in
that isolated incident, it doesn't matter.
Bro, fine. Okay? I have a question. If we actually, and a big thing that would help would be people on the right not delegitimizing hormone replacement therapy as a legitimate form. Would you be 100% for trans women being in women's sports if they had the adequate adequate hormone replacement therapy?
No.
Then you don't care. You don't care then.
You care.
It was never about that. You literally just said that the system is fucked right now, and I said, I agree. Let's make hormones more accessible so that there is a more even playing field when it comes to muscle mass. And now you're saying that doesn't matter. So it was never about that for you.
Average men are taller, and taller is an advantage.
You literally just said that stuff like basketball is a team sport, and just because you're tall does not mean you have an advantage.
Yeah, but swimming's not. Tennis is not.
Wait, I just said then there are men who are taller than other men. Does that mean they should not be able to compete because they have an unfair advantage?
Do they swim or do they compete in a weight class like wrestling?
No. Track doesn't have a weight class or height class. Basketball doesn't have a weight class or height class. Swimming doesn't have a weight class or height class.
Basketball's not an individual sport.
Fine. Fine. Swimming then. I don't know why this individual sport shit makes sense. I don't know why this
Because there's weight classes in most individual sports.
Not for swimming. Not for tennis either.
Most. Let me check, actually.
You should look up for swimming.
I don't know.
So then should transgender women be allowed to play in team sports?
In their own team sport.
Wait, but you said that team sport is not an indication it doesn't matter how good the individual is. So then trans women should be able to play in women's team sports, right?
Yeah. Put 6 men who claim to be women on the offensive line of a football team and then have one real woman there and see which team wins.
1 versus 6? I mean, I don't think that's a fair advantage there. Are we talking about
1 woman and 6 men on a team versus 7 women?
Okay, would these women be, or would these people, would these women, would these trans women have taken the adequate hormone replacement therapy to, even out the muscle mass?
I don't know. That's your made up argument.
It's not a made up argument.
Should be allowed to.
It's not a made up argument. What do you mean it's made up?
It's not in any form of policy right now.
That's literally what the NCAA requires. Sure, individual high school.
You just told me it wasn't.
I was talking about literal high schools around the country. The NCAA has these standards. I can't look. High schools are up to individual school boards across the country, insanely different on their application. That's why certain schools require masks and certain schools don't, because it's a school board decision, not a federal, not a state, not even a municipal one. It's by school district. So I can't control what individual school districts do. What I can tell you is that the NCAA does have these standards, that there has to be a standard of, I think, 18 months of hormone replacement therapy in order for someone who identifies as female participates in that sport.
Hang on. I'm trying to get this cat some food. Give me a second.
It's all good, man. Look, I don't know. I think we've both, made our points. I just think you should,
I'm not going to see eye to eye on this. It's clear.
I mean, all right, man. I think I've addressed every single one of your points pretty thoroughly, but sounds good.
I don't think so.
I really have.
Men shouldn't compete against women.
I agree with you. I don't think men should compete against women, but trans women are women.
Very good.
Women should be able. Wait.
Trans women are not women.
Yes, they are. What defines a woman to you? What defines a woman?
What defines a woman?
Yeah, to you.
Having female chromosomes. Is it XX?
XX is a woman. So I have a question, especially when it comes to especially when it comes to whether it be sports. Do you think someone who is born a man, but is now born a woman, but now starts taking testosterone treatment and and starts to take those hormones and starts to identify more as a man? Would you say that they would now have an unfair advantage in women's sports and they should play in men's sports?
Yeah, and they should not be allowed to play in anything because they're taking performance-enhancing drugs.
Wait, that's not a performance-enhancing drugs.
What is it? It's enhancing their performance and it's a drug.
Wait, but you said that people should have to play in the sport in which they identify with, or which they were born into, right?
If you're born into a XX chromosome, you're a woman, and you say, I want to be a man, right? So you're saying they should be allowed to play in men's sports?
Yeah.
Okay. They're going from a non-advantaged point. Yeah, okay, sure. Fuck it. Let them play.
So then why are you saying it shouldn't be the other way around?
Because I'm going to go with electricity. It follows the path of least resistance.
So you're saying that
the path of least resistance is if you're disadvantaged already.
Some men have higher levels of testosterone than other men. So do you think men who have higher levels of testosterone have an unfair advantage because of performance enhancing drugs?
No, that's your natural ability. That's what you were born with.
So if you're going to have someone be more like the natural man and give them testosterone, not to boost their performance like above the man, but to put them at the average as a man, that's not really performance enhancing to the sense that it's anything other than
it's enhancing their performance.
Wait, fine. And if I have higher levels of testosterone, I'm enhancing my performance. What's the difference between like natural and taking something to match your identity? I don't see the difference.
I would rather not see women taking performance-enhancing drugs, which we're going to go with that definition.
It's not. I mean, testosterone is not a performance-enhancing drug. There are specific.
It enhances your performance, and it's a drug.
You do realize that it's actually a hormone. Performance-enhancing hormones. Hormones and drugs are different.
Performance-enhancing. So should every
water?
Professional athlete
if I drink more water, it's performance-enhancing because I will be more hydrated. Should I be limited on the amount of water I can drink?
Look at you.
I'm asking a question.
Look at you.
It enhances my performance if I drink water and have adequate food. And so if I eat more than another person and drink more water and take better care of myself.
By that logic, everybody should have the same diet.
Dude, that's why I'm saying what you're talking about is ridiculous.
No, it's not. It's a performance-enhancing drug that a doctor has to inject into your fucking body.
A hormone is not a drug. A hormone is not a drug. Hormones and drugs are different things. Because drugs are specifically defined as unnatural. In many ways.
Define drug for me.
I'd love to look up the definition of a fucking drug for you. Not all drugs.
Define drug.
Yeah, drug. Drugs are unnatural substances to the human body.
Chemical substance used in the treatment, cure, prevention, or diagnosis of disease, or used to otherwise enhance physical or mental well-being.
Sure. Hormones aren't drugs.
They enhance physical or mental well-being.
So then, therefore, should someone not be allowed
They are a drug.
Okay, we can literally look this up. I'm sure there's an objective definition.
A chemical substance used in the treatment, cure, prevention, or diagnosis of disease, or used to otherwise enhance physical or mental well-being. It is a chemical substance. It is used in the treatment, cure, prevention, or diagnosis of disease.
Hormones and drugs are two separate. According to the National Institute, or what is it? According to the FDA, drugs and hormones are in two separate categories because they do different things to the human body. So they're not the same.
Does it enhance performance?
Dude,
for a woman to take hormones?
Wait. You do realize that if a man drinks more caffeine, that's an enhancing drug.
We're going to caffeine.
Dude, all I'm saying...
Really
wait. No, I'm not at all grasping. I'm saying that if
you're grasping.
I'm not grasping anything. I'm using
You're saying the dude that drinks more coffee than the other guy shouldn't be allowed to drink that much coffee?
Dude, that's what your argument necessitates. If you think it's ridiculous, look at your own argument.
It's not a performance-enhancing drug.
I mean, quite literally...
It doesn't change your muscle mass.
A chemical...
It gives you some energy.
Fine, is caffeine not a chemical? Let's go off your definition. A chemical drug...
Let's go off of a professional sports definition then.
Sure.
Are professional sports athletes allowed to drink caffeine?
Sure, but why should they? Under your definition.
Are they allowed to take hormones?
I mean, yeah.
No.
Yes, that's quite literally
Mark
why
McGuire,
they
Sammy Sosa.
You do
look at their records and look at how they got canceled. Because they were both on fucking hormones.
They weren't on hormones. They were on steroids.
They were on steroids.
Steroids are not hormones.
Are they allowed to take hormones?
I mean, considering the NCAA.
Professional athletes that make millions of dollars, are they allowed to take HGH?
I mean, I don't know if anyone has tried before. I'd love to see how that plays out.
They're not.
I don't know. I'd love to see. I'd love to see a definition.
Multi-million-dollar paid.
I'd love to see
athletes.
I'd love to see. Can someone take HGH? This is actually pretty interesting. All right, man. Well, this has been a fun time. This is interesting, but
I like that you're chuckling about. Thinking you won something.
No, bro. It's funny to see the inconsistencies in your position, but
there's no inconsistency.
Yes, there are. Your whole argument as to why women or trans women should not be allowed to be in women's sports is because they have an unfair advantage, whether it comes to height or muscle mass. And if a male has that same advantage, you don't think it's unfair.
A man.
Wait, but
so where we're getting confused is going from male to female.
But you have to prove why that matters. You're saying that women. You're saying
I don't have the burden of proof for anything.
No. Absolutely. You can't just say that because you can't just say that men and women because you're making the claim that women or transgender women should not be allowed to be in women's sports because it's unfair. I'm showing you how it would be unfair or a discrepancy between a 6'7" male and a 5'4" male. And you're telling me that should be allowed, but if a transgender...
And it is.
I agree with you. And a transgender woman who also has that height differentiation should not be allowed to play. Why is the difference in chromosomal structure relevant? What is the difference?
The average size and structure and muscle mass of a male, a biological male,
okay,
versus size, structure, and muscle mass of a biological woman.
So if someone...
The average.
Fine. If someone operates outside of those averages, they should not be allowed to participate.
That's a dumbass argument.
That's what you're saying by saying the averages matter.
No, it's not.
Dude.
I'm giving you, here's female, here's their average, way down here. Here's a male, average way the fuck up here. On average, I'm gonna be fucking bigger than you. Give me all the muscle decreasing bullshit you want, and I'm still here when the average female.
That's not true. Taking estrogen.
It is true.
You don't know how estrogen hormone therapy works. It literally.
You know exactly how much each professional athlete is taking. You know exactly how much, and exactly how much muscle loss
That's the
there
point.
is.
That's the point of tests.
You know how much.
That's the point of tests. That's the point of doctors. That's the point of rules and regulation. I literally agree. I'm not saying let all hell fucking break loose and let people do whatever the fuck they want. There should be regulation.
But it is. It's happening right now.
Dude, in fucking high school athletics run by school boards.
High school athletics mean a lot to people
Wait,
who are competing
fine,
for
and
athletic fucking
dude, I
scholarships.
already literally said I agree with you that there needs to be more regulation when it comes to high school athletics. Dude, actually, you know what? Do you believe that there? I mean, I don't know. I get from you that you think that there shouldn't be huge, government overreach, right?
No, I don't.
Then
by no means.
Fine. So then, why should there be? I guess. So, do you think it should be up to the school board then, individual school boards, how they decide how it works?
I've never thought about who should oversee what. That is a good point, and I'm going to look into that. I've never actually thought of who should. Honestly, I would say something along the lines of the government should be protecting women's rights, just like they have been since the 50s, right? 40s and 50s.
So you want there to be the government controlling, I guess, who's allowed to participate in which sports?
Well, if the government's going to be handing out federally subsidized student loans, they should have a little bit of a say in who gets a scholarship.
We're talking about college. We're not talking about... We're talking about high school.
College student loans, right?
Well, college is fine. I'm talking about individual high schools that operate off of individual school boards that make those rules. Do you think it's an overreach for government to mandate that schools wear masks? Because they give those schools federal funding. So they should, under your logic, if they're giving federal funding, that means they have a say in the sports regulation, then they should also have a say in the COVID protocols, right?
See, now we're going on a different subject.
No. It's not really.
I'm going to try to answer the question.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to dodge it. Should government have a say in COVID protocol because they subsidize schools?
Yeah. Because that's what you said for sports.
See, I don't know if I think the government should get to say what happens in sports.
Okay, fine.
Off the top of my head, I would think yes.
All I was asking.
Only because the government is there to protect its citizens.
True.
Women are citizens.
Yeah.
Correct.
Just like students are citizens as well and should be protected from COVID. So I guess the government should be able to mandate masks because the government has an obligation to prevent their citizens.
What the CDC says about masks? Because those are
I actually agree. Yeah, 100%. I think that the mask mandates in schools right now, if students are fully vaccinated and can prove that they're fully vaccinated, I think that should be, not allowed.
So you think you should have to prove that you are?
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the whole fucking point.
Okay, well, HIPAA law.
HIPAA only applies to medical professionals, not releasing your information, not institutions requiring that you provide.
So an institution can't ask me to see any of my medical
That's
records.
not true.
It is true.
That HIPAA applies to medical professionals like your doctor's office, not releasing your information without your consent. An institution can ask you for it. If you don't provide it, well, I guess you just don't get to enter their institution or participate in that. They're not requiring you to show it absolutely, just like your doctor's office is not going to release your medical information without your permission. If you don't want to provide proof of vaccination, tough luck, you don't get to go into the business or the establishment or participate in whatever institution that is. You already know that there are vaccinations that are required to attend public schools, right? Like measles, mumps, hepatitis. A lot of them are required to go to school.
Measles, mumps, rubella.
100%. Those are all required to go to school.
I don't think they are. I think there's a way around it.
I'm pretty sure in order to go to most public schools in this country, you need to have proof of vaccination.
I'm not 100% certain on that either.
Okay. Well, I mean, HIPAA doesn't.
I'm not going to say what I don't.
For sure, 100%. But I mean, I just think that HIPAA doesn't apply in the way that you're applying it.
So you think any company should be able to ask
Absolutely.
to see any proof of anything that they want?
100%.
So you're a libertarian.
I mean, are they immutable characteristics? If that's the case, then no.
I mean, okay, well, let's...
Immutable characteristics are things you cannot change, things like race, biological sex.
I got that.
Okay.
It's just...
So yeah, I don't think that, you should be able to discriminate based on immutable characteristics. However, vaccination is not an immutable characteristic. Just like a business can require you to wear shoes or shirt to go into their service, they can require what clothes you wear, they can require, your behavior, they can require all that. So yeah, absolutely.
They can require behavior.
Well, behavior, yeah. You can't be disorderly. You can't talk and interrupt a movie.
What if I have Tourette's?
What about Tourette's?
There's always an outlier.
Well,
They
sure.
can always throw an outlier.
Sure.
At you.
And they have a right. And they have a right if it's a movie theater to deny you service because of, I guess,
Based
Tourette's.
on a disability?
I mean, not directly. It would depend on how the disability applied to the accommodations.
The disability
what I
applies
would say,
to
I don't know.
I have an immutable characteristic.
Fine. Then they have to make accommodations for that under the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Okay, so they can't kick out a guy who's yelling "fuck black people" in the middle of a movie theater.
Sure,
right?
they can remove him and try to provide him a different movie experience that still suffices his disease.
So removing him.
Well, you do realize that every single one of these regulations has time, place, and manner accommodations and restrictions.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Can you tell a disabled person you need to leave this movie theater right now because of your disability?
Not because of their disability, because of the conduct.
And the conduct caused by their disability, which correlates directly to their disability.
Sure, if you're disrupting everyone there, I mean, yeah, I would say so.
So the people who are being disrupted,
their
rights. There's
a difference here.
Undisrupted.
Wait a second. Wait, you're not
overrules. You know where I'm going.
No, it's not at all. It's 100% not, because what happens is you're talking about the results of an immutable characteristic, not the immutable characteristic itself. If someone with Tourette's is able to take medication, that's able to control it, to not disrupt every single person in that movie theater,
You just said the word if.
yelling. I said if, yeah.
If someone Tourette's is able to take pills,
if they can control their disease, then yeah. Just wait a second. This is such a stupid argument, because let's take a look at something like skydiving. If you have certain medical conditions, you can't skydive because it is a safety hazard to people around you. So you're still able to make time and place restrictions on immutable characteristics. If you don't have arms, you can't rock climb.
If it's a liability issue, the company is 100% allowed to say, no, I'm not going to serve.
100%. And if someone is yelling F black people in a movie theater, some people could interpret that as a threat, and they could sue the institution. So sure, that's a liability.
I like that. That was a pretty slick argument. You're very good at debate.
Good conversation.
I'm not used to running into people like you. This is cool. That was slick.
Good conversation.
Let me see. Man, that was real slick.
All right. Well, sounds good.
The skydiving thing.
Yeah, 100%. All right. I'm probably, if you want to check me out, I do kind of do a lot of more debating on TikTok is my primary platform. So I'll drop my @ here. But there you go. You can check it out.
I'm going to check it out. I absolutely am. I'm a bit drunk and had a good night. So.
Hey, it's all good, man. It's good talking to you.
It was fun, dude.
All right, man.
See ya.
Hope you have a good night. That was something. Good Lord. Wow. My brain hurts after that. Did I finally hit 7K? Let's go. Hit 7K. That was something. Yeah, I know. I wish I would have realized how dumb of an argument that was initially. Yeah, you missed a good one. That was fun. That was something. Are you banned on your main? I am. I got banned from going live. It was a circular roller coaster, but that was very interesting. Finally, that's over. All right, it's 11:30. I gotta get up early tomorrow because just a couple days before graduation. But yeah. I'm probably gonna head out, but it's insane that I have 300 people on my backup on a live. So that's insane. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night. So I'm gonna head out. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Take care. Yeah. See you later. Bye.